Hello again, and welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and today we are going to continue our daily news head coverage from around the world and here in the mainland U.S. Quick side note is, yes, I continue to get some of you that says my audio is not very good. I'm going to try and move the mic up here instead of putting it down where I normally do. We'll see if that fixes it temporarily. I have ordered new audio stuff. The first round, it got put on back order. The second round, it got lost in the mail. The third round, which I was very excited because it was moving very, very quickly and very well, it is now stuck in the closest major city to me since Monday and has not moved. So eventually, I will be getting new audio equipment. This is the third try. Usually, the third time's the charm. We'll see how it goes. But until then, just bear with me. Hopefully, you can still hear me okay. Let's jump into this. I'm going to try and keep this one short. So let's start out with across the waters here. So yesterday, Israel announced that they have ended a large-scale military exercise, and this is in preparations for what they see as potential battles in the north with Hezbollah and Lebanon. Now, this one was more of a maritime, where they were practicing more of kind of the Navy aspect. They were practicing different sort of like rescues and just different support things and whatnot when it comes to that. But it's kind of telling. And it's also might be one of those, hey, look up here as they, maybe do something in the southern part, with Rafah or whatnot. But we'll just data point that one. Which, speaking of, let's turn our eyes upwards. And if we look up into the skies, checking them out, I was keeping an eye, and there was quite a few surveillance recon airplanes. And this was kind of confirmed throughout the day. I saw a few other people post and was agreeing with me. But there was drones and Navy P-8s, sub hunters, and different other things up and over around Rafah. So again, this might be what we just talked about. Hey, look up here as their battle, mapping the battlefield down there. So again, it is Friday. We know what Fridays usually bring. So, make sure everybody's safe and keep your head on the swivel and all that. It's nothing to freak out about. No, it's no, I'm not trying to scare or get fear or anything along those lines. Just that's why we do these. So that way you're made aware and, you can adjust accordingly. Next, so the Washington Times came out and wrote an article where they are asserting that Iran, in their estimation, currently has at least 5 nuclear missiles already. And they are saying that the reason that Iran has not come out and confirmed this is that they are quietly, diligently working to get to 12. And I'm not quite sure why they chose the number 12, but I'm sure there's something there. They continued into that article saying that they are pretty sure, speaking with anonymous sources from the Israeli media or military, excuse me, that Israel is considering doing a pre-strike with their F-35. So we talked about this before. That it looks like there's a lot of talks and rumors that Israel wants to go in there and just take these out before they even have a chance to get launched. But that's assuming that they have them. Now, I'm probably into that category that they probably have them. If not full on nuke, I would say at least atomic, if not maybe dirty bomb or something along those lines. But then again, with all the different weapons trades and everything, I'm sure they've probably got some nasty piece of military hardware that nobody wants them to launch. So, again, just data point. Speaking of Russia, though, there was a Russian A-50, or it's basically their AWACS, and an AWACS is kind of like a reconnaissance sort of airplane. It was shot down allegedly by Ukraine, and it crashed into the Sea of Azov. Now, Russia only has two of these A-50s, so now that this one has been shot down, they currently only have one in working condition. But the weird part is that the maps and everything that's coming out about this, uh, where it got shot and kind of hit is somewhere about 170 to 180 kilometers from any sort of front line or fighting or anything. So it's a little suspect. Like, why would Ukraine have some sort of weapons platform that has the ability to shoot surface to air and, hit this plane so far away? But again, just thinking out loud. Now here's one, and then if you're going to pay attention to anything on this, this is going to be one of them. So there is reports of widespread power outages in many parts of northern Israel announced today. The reason why I say you want to pay attention to this, okay, is if you remember the United States cell phone thing that we just had recently, the very day before, Israel had their cell phones attacked. And then the next day, we had ours. So today, widespread power outages, maybe, okay? I'm not saying it's going to happen by any means, okay? I have no crystal ball. I have no idea. I'm just saying that if we look at history, maybe this has some potential of, maybe some power outages this weekend or coming soon. Hopefully nothing. Okay. I'm not saying that there is or anything like that. It's a good training exercise for you when you see these things, sort of things in the news. Maybe this is a great weekend to go, you know what? Maybe we should practice what would happen if the power went out. Do we have everything that we need? Food, water, gas, power, a way to keep warm, a way to keep cool, a way to entertain yourself, medications, all that stuff. Use this stuff to your advantage. Don't freak out. Be prepared. Get prepared. That's kind of the whole point of being in this lifestyle and being in the preparedness sort of community, is to use what you have around you. When SHTF happens, you're not going to be able to run to Walmart or pick up your phone and order off of Amazon. Okay. You're going to have to be resourceful. And so this is one of the resources. It's free. Take this to where you go, all right, that happened to them. So tomorrow around 3 a.m., power outage. Okay. So, we'll see what happens. Again, hopefully nothing. Let's see. So next, it looks like NATO has come out and publicly given their permission for Ukraine to use the soon to be delivered F-16s and fly them and attack Russia inside Russian lands. Now, there was some announcements that the United States was working on giving like longer range ATACMs and different other weapons platforms to strike inside of Russia. Russia has continuously said that that's a big red line. We're keeping the fighting inside of Ukraine. Do not come into there. Which I see both sides. It's war. Sorry, buddy. The one side's always going to do whatever they can to try and win. So that whole all is fair in love and war. You know, but I see it on the other side too. Hey, don't do it or else. So I see both sides to this. We'll see. They're not getting that many F-16s, and technically, I don't even think that their pilots have graduated training on these. So again, we'll have to wait and see. It's just going to be a couple of months. Okay, so let's move inside the United States, where I only again have a handful of things. So the White House did keep its promise and come out and announce hundreds of new sanctions against Russia. And they are also going to be against countries such as Turkey, China, the UAE, India, South Korea, and others. And they're saying that they're imposing these sanctions because they are supporting the Russian war effort. Now, the EU joined the US today by making an announcement that they are imposing additional sanctions on Russia as well. Now, I wanted to take a quick peek into this. And so, just looking, since about 2022, okay, so we're talking about 2 years ago, Russia has had somewhere in the neighborhood of about 15,000, okay? Again, 15000, 15,000 sanctions against them from various countries. They seem to be doing okay. It's like these sanctions aren't really doing all that much. Yeah. Okay, we'll leave that one there for now. Next, let's talk about California for just a minute. There's two stories that came out of California. The first one is that the resident of the White House signed an executive order, and this was to strengthen the Homeland Security's ability to respond to maritime cyber security threats. Interesting that they did that right when all this cell phone stuff started happening, so interesting timing. But not long after that, there was some pro-Palestine protesters that seemed to discover that he was in a hotel in California and stormed that hotel doing protesting about peace in Gaza and a ceasefire and whatnot. So interesting on that. And another story out of California, just to see how everything's faring out there. This happened just a couple days ago, but there was a homeless man that decided to steal an airplane, and he said that after he was, arrested for this, that he did this because he wanted to show the government that they lack security at airports. Well, your point has been proven, sir. So interesting, interesting. Okay, so last one here. This just was kind of being posted and talked about right when I was kind of setting up before I was hitting record. So, U.S. intelligence has come out and announced that they are observing a high altitude object. It's another spy balloon that is currently, right now, flying over Western United States. Okay, well, I'm closing my book, but let's have some fun. So drop down here to the comment section. Are we going to do the same as last time and let this thing just meander all over the country before we do anything about it? Is it going to fly over the country for the next week, 2 weeks, whatever? Then we do something about it? Or are we actually going to just take this thing out now? Okay, remember, it's over the western. So as long as it's not over, a highly populated area, if it's over a lot of parts of New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, things like that, there's not a huge population in a lot of those areas. So you could potentially take this thing down and, you're going to disrupt some sand. So you tell me, what do you think is going to happen? Are we going to go ahead and nab this thing out, maybe sway some public opinion by acting quickly? Or are we just going to let this thing float all over the place like we did last time? Curious on what you guys think. But that's all I have for you guys today. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I hope everybody had a good day. I hope you continue and have a blessed evening and a really great weekend. I'll be working on a bunch of content, hopefully, and try and get it out there. I got a lot of things in the works, and a lot of it's taking a lot more time than what I originally wanted, but I'm working on it. So with that, if you made it this far in the video, guess what? You rock. I appreciate you. And we're going to leave it at that. So God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. And stay tuned, because there is definitely more information to come. And with that, please remember to remain united, because we're all prepping in this together.